When was the last time you stopped to smell the roses? Life can get so busy with work, kids, chores, and all the other things that fill our days. It's easy to forget to take a break and enjoy the little things in life. But when's the last time you just stopped to appreciate the beautiful world around you? Sometimes the most ordinary things can be the most fascinating. Have you ever heard of a lighthouse keeper? If you live by the coast or have visited one before, you might be familiar with these iconic towers that stand watch over the sometimes treacherous waters, their bright beams cutting through the darkness, guiding ships safely to shore. But what about those who tend to these beacons of light? The men and women known as lighthouse keepers are an essential part of our maritime heritage. These unsung heroes have dedicated their lives to ensuring the safety of others. However, these men and women have also experienced tragedies that will leave you speechless, from sudden disappearances to attacks from sea monsters. Today, we'll be exploring some of the most mysterious cases of missing lighthouse keepers and uncovering the theories that surround them. Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button for more such amazing stories. In the early 19th century, there was a lighthouse located on the remote island of Kintyre. Its purpose was to guide ships away from the dangerous rocks and cliffs that line the coast. But for many years, the lighthouse was shrouded in mystery due to the strange disappearance of its keepers. The first keeper to vanish was Thomas Harvey. He had been tending to the light for several years without incident, until one day he was found missing along with his dog and cat. No trace of them could be found anywhere, leading to speculation that they may have been swept away by a rogue wave while on their rounds. Or perhaps something more sinister had occurred. The next disappearance happened in 1840, when James Ducat went missing. Despite searching the island thoroughly, no clues were found, and his fate remains unknown to this day. It wasn't until 23 years later that another tragedy struck. This time, it was William and Thomas Parker, father and son, who had taken on the responsibility of keeping the light shining. They too vanished without a trace, leaving behind a haunting mystery. Some believe that there is a curse on anyone who tends to this isolated beacon, while others suspect foul play. What do you think? In the remote Scottish village of Sanda, nestled between the rugged coastline and rolling hills, stood an old stone tower overlooking the stormy North Channel. For generations, it served as a silent sentinel, guiding ships safely through the treacherous waters. But within its four weathered walls lay a tale of mystery and despair that has echoed through time. Two men, Thomas and Donald MacArthur, had answered the call to serve as keepers of the Sanda Lighthouse. Little did they know they would become part of a grim legacy. As the winter storms raged outside, casting eerie shadows across the rocky terrain, the lighthouse stood firm against the crashing waves. For the MacArthur brothers, their duties were both solitary and demanding. Day after day, they tended to the flame, ensuring its unwavering glow pierced the thick fog and guided sailors away from the hidden dangers below. But as the months passed, a sense of unease began to settle upon the brothers. Strange noises echoed through the empty halls at night, and whispers seemed to carry on the wind, hinting at a darkness that lurked in the shadows. Some say the lighthouse had a curse. Could there be something sinister lurking within its depths? Perhaps ancient spirits trapped within the tower, or malevolent forces drawn to the isolation of the post? As fear took hold, the brothers grew increasingly desperate, yearning for the solace of home and the warmth of human connection. Then one fateful day, everything changed. A passing ship spotted a faint light emanating from the lighthouse window. Hope surged as they thought it was the flame of safety. But upon closer inspection, they saw figures pacing frantically, waving their arms in distress. Quickly realizing it was not a welcoming beacon, but a desperate plea for help. Alarmed by this chilling sight, the captain sounded the alarm and rescue efforts were swiftly organized. A boat was dispatched to the lighthouse, but when they arrived, they found it deserted. Was the keeper all right? Had he fled, or even worse, suffered some foul play? What had driven him to such despair? To this day, the truth remains elusive. Some believe the keeper succumbed to the curse of the lighthouse, lost in its shadowy embrace, while others whisper of darker forces at play, forever haunting the lonely tower. Lighthouses have long been symbols of hope and salvation for sailors navigating the treacherous seas. But the St. George's Reef Lighthouse stands as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk even in the brightest of places. Located off the coast of Cape Mendocino in California, this isolated structure has witnessed more than its fair share of tragedies. Initially built as a skeletal iron tower, it was later encased in brick, forming a sturdy yet imposing presence against the relentless waves. It was here that a young couple, Walter and Mabel, embarked on their new life together. Newlyweds, they were eager to start their journey as lighthouse keepers, tending to the flame that promised safety to weary travelers at sea. Yet as the sun set over the horizon, casting long shadows across the rocky terrain, a chill wind swept through the tower, carrying with it a sense of foreboding. Strange occurrences began to plague the lighthouse, shaking its very foundations. Unexplainable sounds echoed through the halls, and whispers seemed to dance on the edge of hearing, hinting at a darkness that lurked within its confines. Fear became a constant companion, seeping into their dreams and clouding their waking hours. Rumors swirled about the lighthouse, speaking of tragic tales from its past and the spirits that were said to roam its lonely halls. Had they been cursed? Seeking solace, the young couple turned to each other for comfort, finding strength in their love. But as the days turned into weeks, the darkness within the lighthouse seemed to grow stronger, testing their resilience. Then one stormy night, disaster struck. A violent windstorm raged, shaking the lighthouse with terrifying force. Waves crashed against the rocks below, sending spray high into the air. Terrified, Walter and Mabel clung to each other, their love a beacon in the swirling darkness. But as the storm reached its peak, they were separated. Walter rushed to secure the lamp, determined to keep the light shining through the chaos. Meanwhile, Mabel huddled in a room, praying for the storm to pass. But as the night wore on, their fears grew. When Walter returned, his face was pale, his eyes wide with terror. He spoke of a presence within the lighthouse, something evil that had awakened in the storm. Together, they faced their fears, but the darkness only intensified, enveloping them in its icy grip. The next morning, when the sun finally broke through the clouds, revealing the aftermath of the storm, it cast a haunting light on the tragedy that had unfolded. The lighthouse stood battered, but resolute, bearing witness to the horror that had transpired within. The search for Walter and Mabel revealed a chilling truth. The lighthouse had claimed them, body and soul, leaving behind only fragments of their shattered love story. Some whispered that the lighthouse had claimed them, their souls forever bound to its lonely vigil, while others spoke of ancient powers stirred by the storm, forever altering the fate of those who dared to cross its path. Among the most isolated and haunting lighthouses stands the Nubble Light, perched on a tiny island off the coast of Maine, its white paint and black roof resembling a miniature dollhouse against the backdrop of crashing waves. But within its seemingly picturesque walls lies a tale of mystery that has captivated locals and visitors alike. Over the years, strange occurrences have been reported within the lighthouse grounds. Unexplainable footsteps have echoed through its halls, and disembodied voices have whispered secrets on the wind. One stormy night, a caretaker named James was tending to the light when he heard a knock. Assuming it was his companion returning earlier than expected, he called out but received no reply. As the knock persisted, growing louder with each passing moment, James cautiously approached the door, his heart pounding in his chest. When he finally opened it, he was met with an empty hallway, the source of the noise remaining a mystery. Some believe the lighthouse is haunted by the ghost of a former keeper, forever seeking solace within its confines. Others whisper of restless souls lost at sea, their spirits drawn to the guiding light. And then there are those who claim the very stones of the lighthouse hold ancient powers, attracting paranormal phenomena to its shores. The truth remains elusive, leaving visitors to wonder if they dare venture too close to unravel the secrets of the Nubble Light. Each of these cases is unique and fascinating in its own right. The disappearances on Kintyre Island, the haunting tale of the MacArthur brothers on Sanda, the tragic story of Walter and Mabel at St. George's Reef, and the mysterious goings-on at the Nubble Light. All of these cases remain unsolved and have left people wondering about the mysteries that surround lighthouses and the brave individuals who tend to them. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. Thank you for watching.